The three kids struggled to reel it in, so he decided to take over. The final days of summer were crawling in, and Rob Alamy and his wife Patricia wanted one final family outing before their three kids headed off to school. They packed up enough snacks and drinks for the day, piled into their fishing boat, and made for the sapphire blue waves of the ocean's horizon. Rob watched with pride as his kids baited their hooks and cast their lines into the water like any pro. There should have been swordfish biting around there, and he pictured the family photo of them holding one up together. There was just one problem. The only thing that was nibbling were some tilefish, and they weren't exactly edible. Still, the weather was beautiful, and everyone was having fun. Suddenly, his youngest girl let out a loud yelp. Her pole twisted and bent. Whatever was at the end of the line must have been huge. Maybe it was the swordfish they were all hoping for. Rob knew it was time to step in. The ocean was sadly riddled with trash, so it was nothing new to find garbage on their hooks, but this duffel bag looked full. While his wife kept the kids at a distance, Rob slowly pulled at the slimy zipper. His mind immediately snapped to Christmas morning. The family had a tradition of wrapping one gift entirely in packing tape. The square and rectangular blocks inside were wrapped with similar tape. But whatever lay hidden under the layers of waterproofing certainly wasn't a gift. There was a delicate green pattern with a very recognizable image. Money, his kids yelled, as Rob pulled out huge stacks of $20 bills. So far, there was enough to pay off their car. But that wasn't all that was inside. It seemed the solid blocks were cash. But what was inside the lumpy ones? "Honey, call the cops," Rob said, feeling his heart pound furiously. Inside was a baggie of cut and dyed diamonds. Just one held an entire fist full, and there were at least 6 more inside the duffel bag. This was bad. While Rob worried that he had just left fingerprints or contaminated evidence, his wife explained why they couldn't keep it. So as soon as the ocean authorities showed up with their decked-out boat and full uniforms, all Rob had to do was give a statement and supply fingerprints for their file. Other than that, there was nothing wrong. The police thanked the family for their find and dropped an exciting hint to the kids, one that even made Rob and his wife go bug-eyed. There was something great coming their way. The finder's fee obviously didn't add up to the $200,000 in cash, and who knows how much in diamonds, so it was better than any swordfish. Summer came to a swift close, and the kids reported to school. Rob and his wife returned to work, everything turning into a busy routine that the family quickly adapted to. But one afternoon, while at work, Rob received a call that would wither his insides. The number was from a private caller, the voice hidden behind a voice changer. The caller wanted to know a few things regarding Rob's find, including where he and his family had made their lucky find. Of course, Rob's first instinct was to call the police immediately. What the caller would reveal about doing such a thing would leave him frozen. "I know where you worked," the caller reported with a calmness that churned Rob's stomach. "Don't do anything I wouldn't do," he informed the shaking Rob that he was watching him, asking him to remain in his office as they talked. If the caller was watching Rob, what were the odds that he had his eyes on his family as well? Rob was in a state of alarm as the caller asked him questions. As he was still in contact with the police, he didn't want to give out anything valuable and thus beat around the bush when answering. He offered the general direction where he found the package, knowing the area was still under heavy police surveillance. He hoped the caller would run into them. The caller ended the call by asking him not to share what they'd talked about with anyone, not even his family. As soon as the line went dead, Rob sprinted out of his office. He didn't even ask his superiors for a chance to leave the premises, only hopped into his car and screeched out of the parking lot. Rob's first destination was his kids' school, but he FaceTimed his wife on the road, knowing such communication couldn't be tapped into. "I need you to meet me at the summer house," he told her. "I am bringing the kids." He hoped Patricia understood what he meant by summer house. Their lives, including their children's, depended on it. So over the decades that Rob and his wife had been together, they'd been huge fans of detective shows. They joked about buying a safe house up country that they could visit whenever they had time. But such a joke would take on a life of itself. They found a secure bunker for sale and pooled their resources, purchasing it. But even Rob knew such a place wouldn't be enough to protect him. He needed to do more. Rob and Patricia birthed the Summer House Protocol, a fancy name they gave a plan that would ensure their safety in case anything went wrong in their state. The protocol focused on one of Rob's high school best friends, who was a decorated Navy SEAL. Although the bunker was there, the protocol involved the family flying out to Rob's friend for shelter. Who would have thought such a day would come? After handing over the kids, he told Patricia that someone had called him, asking about the package. He asked her to follow through with their safety plan. With his family safe and sound, Rob drove to the police station. The police asked about his family, to which he said they were safely away. He hoped whatever was happening would come to a swift end. The police set to tracing the call. They jumped through many hoops, even asking the phone company to reveal the caller's identity, but no valuable information came forth. Rob's phone rang as he was leaving the police station. The caller was disappointed, reminding Rob they'd warned against contacting the police. On the other hand, Rob was unfazed. He asked the caller to show himself. If they were as powerful as they claimed, why were they hiding behind a hidden caller ID and voice changer? Rob kept the caller talking. But inside the police station, the force was tracking the call. They narrowed it down to the caller's location, quietly dispatching a SWAT team to flush them out. Rob was still on the call when he heard a commotion. The SWAT team had already breached the caller's residence, finding it was a local drug dealer the station was investigating. Although everything returned to normal for Rob and his family, he knew everyone in his life would undoubtedly label this as a tall tale.